the idea that this is a completely blank slate. Everything is new. And we have written elsewhere about this, the great fortune the country had in someone who was like George Washington, who realized this and then surrounded himself with people who were equally cognizant of the significance of every single move, major and minor. We've likened it to someone sitting down at a desk with a blank sheet of paper in which everything they write is indelibly unerasable, that it is in place and will not just affect what's going on right then with that sentence, but all the other sentences that will follow it forever. And that kind of challenge would, in someone sitting at a piece of paper, create an incredible writer's block. For someone who's establishing a new government in the uncharted seas of domestic and international affairs, well, it's no wonder that he didn't want to do it. That Washington tried every artifice and stratagem to avoid the presidency and was finally really dragooned into the job and tried to leave it as soon as he could. He actually thought he would only be there for 2 years, that he would get the ball rolling and then go home. And then, of course, all things happening didn't allow that even after 4 years. So I think probably the idea of setting so many precedents that would be so indelible in the way the government ran was one of the things that is most remarkable about the first presidency.
And I think as far as policy issues, obviously the first one, and perhaps the most daunting, was the financial issues. The country was not only broke, it was heavily in debt. And of course, picking Alexander Hamilton to head the Treasury Department, which of course was not necessarily, he was not his first choice, that Robert Morris was probably his first choice, that it was so fortunate because Hamilton was able to certainly not pay off the debt, but to take care of those issues in a logical way, a very planful way, that certainly put him at odds with Jefferson and others, Madison first. But doing that in the way that he did, and then trusting, and the part of George Washington, trusting Hamilton to handle, because Washington was not a numbers guy. This was one area that he, I won't say was happy to turn over to someone else, but it was not something that he felt particularly comfortable with. And so I think that was the first policy issue that was going to really start the presidency off on a very good footing. And I think a lot of people realize that. Then, of course, there's the issues of foreign policy, which are going to dominate the latter part of his first term, but primarily his second term.
Yeah, the Anglo-French War became the unforeseen but absolutely unavoidable controversy that began to affect almost everything in domestic politics.